Good evening and welcome to the Simply Colorful FiberCast. Today's date is October 5th, 2018. My name is Lynn Marquidon and I'm your host. So welcome. We're going to do some sewing, and tonight we're doing clue 5 of our brown bag mystery quilt that we're doing through the Simply Colorful Patreon site, and this is clue number 5. We have to make 31 of these, no problem. The clue that I've just discovered how to link within Patreon is there. It's only 4 pages, and it includes on the back, the last 2 pages, 2 different methods for creating the block, either using templates or using the paper piecing pattern, which you know I love. So grab your project and let's sew together. And as always, send me a note to lynn@simplycolorful.com and show us what you're working on. I'll share it with everyone who's out there. And we have people calling in from around the world, so welcome. I am doing paper piecing, so I have printed out, believe it or not, 31 copies. I've made one, so I have 30 more to go. And I use 2 different sets of scissors. And I use my rotary cutter. So maybe I should show you all the ingredients for this clue. This is a really easy clue. But I hope that by now you're seeing that this mystery quilt is not a doozy, really. And I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. I'm having a ball with it. You need the pattern. For each block, 10.5 by 2.5 inches. This is the base of the block, and then about 5.5 inches by 1 3/4, 4 per block, and you lay those over and then turn it over, and that becomes the point on our double pointed fence post. That's what we're calling this block. Okay, but first there's a trick that will require our glue stick. So remember to get out your handy dandy glue stick. We're only using these colors tonight, which is kind of fun. No more yellow, no more of the red. But first, the other trick is if you're doing the paper piecing, what I do is I cut on the line on 2 sides, and then I turn it over. And I use my glue stick to put this down. And the reason I cut it on 2 sides is that becomes my, I guess again, my registration guide. So I don't have to go up to, say, a light box or spend too much time. So here I've cut two sides, right? So now I know if I turn it over and use my glue stick, there we go. There's that. And now I can actually just, what should I do? Last time I did a few of these. I still haven't finished clue 1, by the way. You can see behind me, aren't they pretty? The 1 picket fence. These are double pointed. That's 1 pointed picket fence. See, double pointed? Single pointed. Okay. I'm going to cut several of these. So again, send your notes, send your pictures of what you're working on. Carol has already sent a note saying she won't be here tonight. She's off buying fabric. And I think she may be off buying fabric in a very exotic place. We'll have to ask her next week or the week after. So that's Carol. The band, I thought, was not going to be playing downstairs. You know, my husband's Bob's band. But I think I just heard the singer come in. So maybe they've changed plans. There was an opportunity earlier today to do a gig, which would have been wonderful. It was an outdoor fundraiser right here locally. They could have gotten their equipment and gone down and played from like 10 to 2 tomorrow. It's supposed to be a beautiful fall day here in New England, in Massachusetts. And the opportunity just came up today, and unfortunately, one of their band members is in Florida, another one is going somewhere else, so he couldn't do it. So they just couldn't say yes, and they were disappointed. The other band members were terribly disappointed. In fact, Bob was saying just last night that he remembered playing out at the Land Jam, I think is what they call it. No, that's what my sister calls hers. There was another holiday outdoor party that used to happen out in Princeton, Massachusetts in the fall. And they played, I'll never forget this, they played on the back of a semi-truck, up on the bed of the truck, the truck before you put the container on it. Bob was in seventh heaven. He was so happy. In fact, we have pictures of that, and now I look back and they look so young. Anyway, what are you doing this weekend? Send me a note, lynn@simplycolorful.com, and post your progress. If anyone is doing the mystery quilt, we'd love to see it. I know my sister is cranking on hers. And speaking of my sister, if anyone is doing the paper piecing of the letters, I'm doing the machine applique, but my sister's doing the paper piecing, and she discovered that B from last week didn't come out very well. You had to renumber it. So she redid the B. So I posted it on Patreon, and it looks so clean. So thank you, KB, for doing that. I really appreciate it. She called me last Saturday, maybe? And said, I'm working on it, and the B's not coming out right. And she offered to help. Gotta love it. Of course, I was in Home Depot looking through their 75% off stuff. I didn't get a thing, but that was the first time I'd ever seen Home Depot have that type of discount. So that was interesting. I hope anyone who goes to Joann's was able to take advantage of their batting that was 70% off. They had a coupon, and Jean let us know that midweek. If you're not connected with some sewing friends locally, I highly recommend it. And I think most of you are, but I just want to put in that plug again. It's one of the joys of my life right now as I grow older, is that I do have friends that like to do the same things, right? We can take road trips, we can go to quilt shows, we can go explore art. In fact, my doll making friends are down in Stamford, Connecticut all week at Art Is. And I've been to that, and I love it. It's just artists we take over the hotel, and it's really a mixed media art retreat. They have teachers that come in and will teach metal etching, beaded doll faces, soldering, just anything, any skill that you might use, painting, of course, use in your creation of dolls or anything, just expression. So I think you're going to find, that I'm itching to do something three-dimensional again, like a doll. So I think what we're going to do is when we finish this quilt, which the last one, let's see, when is our last clue? You're really going to want to tune into the last clue because we're going to be at the long arm machine. We're including that as part of the clue, the last one. So October 26th, we are going to be actually long arming this mystery quilt together. So just to let you know, that means that October 19th is probably going to be more like the reveal. You're going to see what this is going to look like. And that'll give us a week to put it all together. And then on that 8th week, October 26th, I'll be doing it at the long arm. I'm going to show you the pattern that I've chosen. And you can either do it locally, or you can tie it, you can hand quilt it, or you can send it to Simply Colorful and we can do the machine quilting for you, whatever you want. So yes, and that is a blatant plug or offer of machine quilting services. Okay. We're getting there. Just have to do these all at once. Have you been seeing the splendid sampler that Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish is making? The colors are so subtle. I'm loving what she's doing. The timing of her show seems to be right for me. Not that I watch it from end to end, but she's on, what is it? Well, I seem to watch it at like 9:30 in my bed on my iPad. And then have you been watching this Great America Reads special on PBS? How fun is that? 100 books of classics, and people are describing why they like their best book. That's been great. So I've downloaded a couple of them. I can't say I've finished any of them. In fact, I've downloaded some I'm reading and some I'm listening to. And the ones that I'm listening to, I need a better way because I said to Bob last night, one gift I was given that I'm blessed to have is I can fall asleep very quickly. So when I listen to a book, it's just, I probably hear a paragraph and then I'm gone. So, but conversely, walking or doing the treadmill or doing something like that with my earbuds, that really works. I love to listen to podcasts doing that. A few more, and then we'll sew a couple, and then we'll see who's out there. So again, it's October 2018. Do you believe next year will be 2019? The company I work for, their fiscal year starts in February. And just historically, not quite sure how it happened, but February 1st, they start fiscal year 2020. I cannot believe that. Oh, it's so nice just to do something relaxing, not have to worry about the emails coming in. I should check and see if my phone is on. I'm not hearing any dinging. Oh, yeah, it's on. Wonder if I posted it. Ha! Ha, 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 ha. Who's out there? So again, Lynn at simplycolorful.com. Updated just now. Okay. So again, Carol says she's checking in. Apologies, I won't be watching tonight. I'm out shopping for fabric. We'll catch you all on the archive. Happy sewing, everyone. You too, Carol O. Your quilts are done. Your next batch. June, if you're watching, I just sent 2 quilts up to New Hampshire. Oh, and BJ, if you're out there, it's so nice to hear get your emails and know how things are going out in Montana. And Becca from down in Georgia, thank you for sending your quilt along. I've sent some thread and design options your way. There's no rush. In fact, I think you're at a retreat in central Georgia with limited internet. But just know you have options in your inbox. And I just heard a ding. Who's out there? Someone who heard the desperation in my voice. My sister. Hi, KB. I thought I was really talking to myself. How are you? Happy weekend. I'm looking forward, KB, to our many trips that are coming up. In fact, also, you know, I really should get a life beyond Facebook, but I saw, did you see the dolphins? They were taking a boat trip from St. Martin to Saba, and someone was filming it, and there was is it a pod of dolphins? I don't even know this. I think it might be a pod. Oodles of them jumping up alongside the boat. It looked great. Okay, this is the last one. Okay, so that's done. Now I have it on 2 sides. Now I go and I use my glue stick. And I'll do a couple more of these and then I'll start sewing. Remember when we're paper piecing to put your needle, your stitch length very short. You want to perforate the paper so that it's easy to pull off when all is said and done. And you do that by shortening your stitch length. I really should have grown up in the factory age, because I don't mind repetition. I think it might drive other people absolutely batty, but there's something, I don't seem to mind it. I'm sure if I was on the line doing something, it might not be as fun. I told you I used to work in an aerosol pharmaceutical manufacturing plant. I was a chemist. I think I told you that, because when Dr. Sue Norton out in Chicago was talking about working in a lab. I think I had mentioned that. And that was always interesting to go down to the floor and see the manufacturing. Okay. So there. Oh, I didn't do what I just said I'd do. So I'm putting it down to 1.7. There is there is a risk when you do it this way of getting a little bit of puckering, because these are fairly big pieces with not. So there's 2, right? Now what I do, because I'm not Carol Doak and not that precise in my, I fold those 2 pieces back. Or my sister, I should say, who's an amazing paper piecer. There, so I've cut off the excess. Fold that back up. And then I'm going to finger press that open. Hopefully you can see that. Finger press that open. And then I'm going to get this ready. my Panasonic. I'm going to hold this up. Actually, there, that's easier to handle it. There's one. Now I'll go do the other. And there we go. Now we're going to fold that back. Fold that back. Cut away the excess. Fold that back, fold that back. Ooh, we're almost done with our first double pointed picket fence post. There's that. And you can't beat the points you get with paper piecing. Then I'm just going to do this. Oh, there goes my glue. We just cut off the excess. And then, voila, we have 2 picket fences. Only 29 to go. Let's do these 2 more. One. Who's going to see some quilt shows? There's Connections up in New Hampshire, I think in a few weeks. What I was going to say before I looked at the schedule is after this Mystery Quilt's done on October 26th, don't be surprised if the next week, which, let's see, it will have already been Halloween, but I may do something Halloween-y on November. It'll be November 2nd, I think. Hey, it'll be Tommy's birthday. Maybe we'll do something in honor of my nephew, Tommy. Okay. So see how we're finger piecing that. Now, just like before, I'm going to cut this roughly. Not only do I use a lot of fabric, I use a lot of paper. I know what else. We got our new lavender shirts in. So if anyone wants a lavender Simply Colorful t-shirt, they are $20 and they come in sizes small to 4X, I think. I'm going to go get one to show you. Okay, see that? I'm going to put that right there. Don't move. I'm going to get us a t-shirt. Hang on. Get ready. Isn't that pretty? It's lavender. I'm really liking this batch. So again, if anyone wants one, send me an email, lynn@simplycolorful.com. They're $20 plus shipping. Or if you become a patron, you get one of these. I think for as little as $3 a month. Does that sound right? I forget. Anyway, what else is going on? Oh, we had a nice time last night here at the abode. It was a nice Thursday sports night. We had homemade hamburgers. So we had a great meal and we watched our football team play. And it was great. Great fun. Okay, so there's another one. Now you just fold that over. Here's another one. Let's see who's out there. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, Kathleen. Oh, hi, Kathleen. She says, I just arrived home and saw your t-shirt waiting for me. Thank you so much for dropping it off. I love the color. Oh, hi, Kathleen. I'm so glad you're out there. So Kathleen just received her shirt. I'm so glad. I took a drive down that side road too where you live. It's lovely back there. You live in a very pretty part of town. BJ! BJ, it's so nice to see you out there. She says, howdy. She says, hi, Lynn and all Fibercasters. I'm enjoying watching your mystery quilt come together. Unfortunately, she says, the last thing I need right now is another project. LOL. I hear you. I hear you. I'm so proud, though, of all of the UFOs you're finishing. It's remarkable. BJ says, I'm hand sewing a binding onto one of the quilts you just quilted for me. I've sent you 2 more. Oh, wonderful. They should arrive on Tuesday. My pile of quilts only needs all the labels. Yay. Good for you. I'm interested to see what kind of labels you do. Speaking of labels, I should show you what Becca has done on her quilt. In fact, let me get this, and then I'm going to go back to BJ. But that you reminded me, we have to talk about labels. Don't leave me. Don't leave. Hi. So how about this for a label? And I know you can't really read it, but it's been embroidered into the backing of the fabric. Isn't that a good idea? So I'll show you this one when it's done. Oh, BJ, I'm so glad you're out there. So BJ also says, oh, We've got snow on the mountains, but I'm resisting turning on the heat. Wood fires are perfect this time of year. Yes. I had that discussion with Bob too this weekend or last weekend. And I said, I really, wood fires are great, but I really would like a thermostat that also works. It's a long story. Oh, BJ goes on to say, I'll be solo this weekend, so I hope to catch up on my Splendid Sampler 2, my Moda Blockheads 2, and my Merry and Bright Quilt Alongs. Oh, that sounds wonderful. Good weekend to everyone, BJ. Thanks for writing, BJ. I'm so glad you're out there, and I'll be on the lookout for the quilts. Kathleen, hello. Kathleen says, I'm watching tonight. I'm way behind, she says. We had wood floors put in the sewing and guest rooms. Oh, how nice. Oh, you're going to love them. She says, I had to empty both rooms. Now it will probably take a month to get it back together. Aw, always enjoy watching you and hearing about your week. Have a great weekend. Hugs, and this is my sewing room. Oh, look at this. Look at those floors. That's great. You are going to enjoy that. They're going to clean up so nicely. In fact, I found the leftover batting. Did I tell you that? Take a piece of leftover batting and put it on your Swiffer and just go up and down your floors, and it works great. Ah, so glad you're out there. Sue, hi. Sue Norton says, hi, Lynn. I just got Clue 4 done after I got home from work. Way to go. No pictures since it's been raining and too dark to get a good picture. She says, I reviewed my fabric needs for Clue 5, and it looks like another trip to the fabric store. No worries, she says. They are expecting me there anyway. LOL. Happy Friday, everyone. Oh, Dr. Sue, you're so funny. Have a great time at that fabric store. Sue, for everyone you might remember, or just as a reminder, she's doing a scrappy version of this quilt, and I can't wait to see it. Anne, hi, your shirt just left today. So it's on its way to the Guernsey Isles. So it won't be there. I couldn't drop it off like I did to Kathleen, but just know it's on its way. And thank you very much for being a patron. Oh, and look at what you're doing. Oh, isn't that fun? How is that done? Okay. Anne says, hi, Lynn and all FiberCasters. It's been a very busy few weeks, and last week I fell asleep in my headphones waiting for your show to begin. See? At least you didn't, people have said that I am a good sleeping pill. Have you heard that? So, anywho, I'm glad to hear you fell asleep before I started. Anne says, I'm trying to get on with the mystery quilt, but life keeps getting in the way. So tonight, to try and get myself back into my sewing, I've tried to get a UFO backed and quilted. I couldn't get my free motion to work, so put on the walking foot, and the thread kept breaking. Aw, some days are just like this. She says, so I've given up and we'll try again another day. It's a faux cathedral window. I thought it looked like a cathedral window. Oh, that is really neat. Isn't that neat how you fold that back? If you haven't ever tried a cathedral window, either the faux one or the real one, I encourage you to do it. It's quite fun. The real one is quite fun. This one, to insert a punch of color, you do it all, say, in muslin, and then you put your square in here of the different colors. And it's amazing when you do it by hand, the back gets done while you do it. You end up folding the fabric multiple times and then whip stitching a lot, and then put those together and then put your cathedral window in, and then you just add on to it. No, I'm not going to start one. That was a message to myself just then. I am not going to do that. But it sure is intriguing, Anne. And I'm sorry about your machine. But I think that's perfect, is just to walk away, do something else. When the feeling strikes, you're going to get right back into your groove. You really are. And you're going to be so glad you have it. Imagine if you didn't have a hobby like this, or something that you could really meditate on, and just do this. So hang in there. Thank you for sharing this. And she says, hope everyone has a lovely weekend. Love and quilty hugs, Anne. You too. You too. Oh, another. So Carol Bell down the road from you or around the country from you is also UFOing it. So Carol says, hi, Lynn and Fibercasters. Hope you've all had a good week. It's been a bit autumnal here, she says, bright and sunny, but a bit nippy on the morning. Oh, can I just say this is my favorite time of year? It's wonderful. I hope you're liking it and it's not too nippy. She says, I'm working on my Bonnie Hunter mystery. Last month, I finished the first one I did, and now I'm working on Ringo Lake. I may even get it finished before she starts the next one, or maybe not. Yours, Carol. Oh, isn't that nice? I love all those pieces. That looks great. Wow. That's great. Oh, something in my eye. UFOing it. Love it. So glad to know you're all out there. Thank you. Excellent. Oh. So let's do one more of these. We are on to, actually, you know what I could do? I could cut this off before I put the first two on. Not that it really matters. So we'll take this, hold it up to the light. Oh, whoops, I did it the wrong way. You want to make sure that you have enough when you fold it back over to cover the whole corner. See, so I left enough up there. I will do this one. So again, after this mystery quilt, I think we're going to do something different, three-dimensional. Just mix it up a little bit. The holidays are coming. Okay, so there two we're done. Now I just fold this back. Fold it back. Oh, I know some exciting different news. For anyone out there who might like to fish, this is a fishing tale. So where my mother lives, they have an annual derby, a fishing derby every fall. And it goes for like a month, and it's been going for years and years and years. It's sponsored by a car company and others on the island. And for my whole life, my uncles, my mother, my cousins have fished during it. And you try to catch the biggest fish, depending on the categories. Well, this year, and there are, I think I saw in the Gazette, there are more than 3,000 people competing. So it's crazy time down on the island. You see people driving around trying to find the fish, chasing the fish, or out in their boats trying to chase the fish. Well, my oldest cousin, is that true? No, not quite my oldest, but one of my cousins caught himself a big old, what they call bonita. I'm not very familiar with the fish. But apparently it's the second largest bonita ever entered into the Derby. So, and the Derby goes for one more week. Now, my whole life, I don't ever remember. I should ask my mother if this is true. I don't ever remember any of my uncles or cousins ever qualifying, but maybe they did, or maybe they had a fish there for a day or two. But he's been on the leaderboard all week, and it sounds like because the bonita like warm water, they're going to head south. So the likelihood that someone's going to catch a bigger bonita than my cousin is quite small, apparently, or so we're telling ourselves. So What happens is next week, if he stays on the leaderboard, he and the other leaders in the other categories, so whether it's bass, blues, false albi, albacore, I don't know, mackerel, holy mackerel, I don't know, squid. I wonder if there's a squid category. That'd be quite funny. The winners go back, and if they caught something from a boat, there are 4 of them, I guess 4 categories, and they each get a key, and they try to, one of them will open the car door, and one of them will win a car. Similarly, people who caught fish on land, there are 4 of them, and they'll get a chance at winning a boat. Do you believe that? So my cousin, if all goes well, he's in the 8 finalists out of 3,000, and he might win himself a car. It'll be a hoot. And my understanding is from my mother and my sister that they're going to live stream the opening of the car with the key. So it'll be a hoot. Anyway, that was a random tidbit, random update. And I think on that note, we might just finish this and call it a night. So there they are. There are all my 4 pieces. Now I just fold it over again on the back. You see this? And just crisp it up. So there again, I love that my cousins have their hobby. They love to fish. And by the way, he caught that fish when he was out with his 2 brothers who all live in different parts, in different states, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. And they all happened to be able to be out fishing together because they were in town visiting their father and mother. And it's a nice story. And there we go, clue 5. So Sue, have fun at the store finding your fabric for clue 5. Everyone else, I hope that you keep sewing away. This really isn't a bad doozy. Oh, and who's that? Oh, my mother this news just in. Leah, my niece, caught a fish, a bluefish, several years ago. She did not win the key. Really? So Leah really got in the top? Wow, that's cool. Well, stay tuned. I'm sure we will give you an update, and do whatever you like to do. Go out and garden, go out and volunteer, be with people, have fun. Just do what you want to do. And thanks for joining me. I'll see you next Friday night right here on FiberCast. Bye, everyone. And I am stopping early. I realize that. I guess I didn't know it was that early, but I think you know how to do these. You're on your own now. Bye.